Hello, people of America, especially the Michigan people, Michiganders, and all civilized people around the globe. I want you to listen to me carefully. The reign of terror under the Democrats is finally going to be over by November 5. And a new president, possibly Trump, will come victorious unless they play fraud. I have full faith in Trump now, and I know Kamala Harris, although she is a very capable woman, an able prosecutor, she will be appointed by President Trump. I want the world to know what's going on. I was, as you are perhaps aware, born in India. My mother says on July 28, 1940. She says, I have no knowledge. Do you have? When you were born? Nobody knows, right? According to my church records, that is correct. I was born here, educated up to my high school at St. Joseph's High School at Pavarati, which was run by Capuchin fathers. Then, at the age of 17, I left Kerala. I was studying in Bombay, now known as Mumbai. And after undergoing some training in shorthand and typewriting, I went to work for Air India International for a period of 4 or 5 months at a monthly salary of 90 rupees, monthly salary of 90 rupees, which was then considered a huge salary, a month, you have to understand. While working there, I was recruited by an attorney by the name Sharma, M.A. Sharma, who took me to Delhi, and I started working for a Marwari firm. And when I was working, I was scared of the monkeys. The place where I was living was surrounded by monkeys coming all the time. So this guy came from New India Assurance, wanted me to go for an interview there, and they hired me the same day. I continued there for New India Assurance Company for a period of 7 years. When I happened to meet my future wife, her name Cicely, we had a marriage, no dowry in those days. My father wanted a dowry of 10 lakhs, and the poor woman can't even afford 10,000 rupees. I married her without any dowry, as was the custom in those days. She went to England first. I followed her. After giving up my LLB third-year program, without finishing my moot court in professional ethics and a couple of other courses taught in the 6th semester. I worked in England for Her Majesty's government, and after working there and having had 3 daughters born to us, we migrated to the United States of America in a plane, not in a boat, as people are doing these days. I went to work for a company called Michigan Bell Telephone Company, which was then one of the subsidiaries of AT&T, the parent company. I worked there, and for a short time afterwards, My immediate boss by the name Jack Temple found me way overqualified, recommended me to take a management assessment program at which I got a perfect score. But Michigan Bell will not promote me because I had filed prior complaints of discrimination. To cut the long story short, to resolve my retaliation complaint I filed against the company, I was sent to work for its then parent company known as AT&T on a contract for a period of 5 years. While the contract was running, AT&T and the US Department of Justice agreed for the break of these companies, and they merged with each other, making the whole Bell System companies into 6 or 7 companies. Why I want to give you the background is, during the time we had what is called a 401k pension plan, 401 profit sharing plan. That plan was in force during the time, and I was supposed to continue my contractual employment period, but I was dismissed by the division manager of Michigan Bell by the name Richard Stone, who came to Florida and offered me first $35,000 to quit the job, which I refused because I had by then 4 children and my dependent father and my wife. But the following day, they raised the offer to $45,000, which I declined because of the benefits offered. So I was literally fired in the invited presence of my wife. Defendants argued in the court of the corporation. I quit the job. They refused to pay even my unemployment insurance benefits, for which I applied to the state of New York when I was living there. I'm sorry, it's the state of Florida. I'm sorry. The game went on. Then I wrote so many articles in the paper, the Kangaroo Courts of the United States of America, Part 2, which explained the whole gimmick. Then I thought this company will pay me my benefits, which I already earned. I wrote to the US Department of Labor. They kept quiet. I kept writing, no response. I went to Atlanta, Georgia, went to the US Department of Justice, the US Department of Labor. They gave me a printout showing the deductions these companies had taken from my salary. Then I wrote to them again to pay me my benefits since 1981. The DOL, Department of Labor, engaged a woman by the name Jean Baker. She wrote me a letter, August 17, 2024, at 2:02 p.m., saying and giving me a service request number, which was 04431856. And she wrote to me to say she is on vacation, she will be back shortly. Then I got another letter from her saying that on August 19, 2024 at 12:40 p.m. giving me another number. This time the service request number was 04432213, telling me to contact them. Then there was no response. Then I got another letter on August 23, 2024 at 6:56 p.m. which says the same thing. Okay? And this went on, no response. As of today, October 21, I haven't received a dime. In the meantime, Biden went to Michigan telling the communication workers of America and the automobile industry workers, "Hi guys, don't worry, we will give you your 401k pension benefits. If AT&T and Michigan Bell cannot give me the money that I paid into the system in 1981, how can you trust him?" Okay, these were all hollow promise one after the other. I kept receiving the same letter saying that, "Dear Mr. David, thank you for contacting U.S. Department of Labor National Contact Center," and giving me another number. This was Friday, August 23, 2024. All that I am receiving is the letters telling me inquiry number. Even when I told them don't give me another number, they give me another number, but no result. This is nothing but a fake theory. You understand, folks? I want you folks around the globe to understand the gimmicks, the false promises given by the Democratic Party's Rules Committee chairman and their partners. One of them filed a false affidavit. His name is Ralph Curtis Dawson. He asked his co-counsel by the name Tilker, Brian Wayne Tilker, to file an affidavit. The affidavit stated he has personal knowledge of me executing a release on August 25, 1981. And based on that affidavit, another puppet of the corporation by the name Seibert, Giovanna Seibert, granted a summary judgment without any hearing, without any notice, without anything, without providing me any discovery whatsoever. This was brought to her attention and she refused. When I told her the affidavit of Tilker is false, perjured, she justified that by citing another district court, that is the authority upon which she is relying. The judgment of the court, of the Seibert court, was totally false, without any factual or legal basis. The case went on appeal to the 11th Circuit Court of Appeals, which refused to rule on. It went before a panel of 2 judges. Both of them were already retired, namely the panel's decision was in conflict with the 12 other Circuit Court of Appeals in the nation. The 11th Circuit ruled that the decision of the court is final, then it was not so. I went on appeal, and the Supreme Court reversed and granted my petition for a writ of mandamus in case number 16-9624. When I paid the fee as required in the sum of $300, along with the 40 cents of my brief, it went to a woman by the name Blarlock, who stated in her letter, returning the papers and the money, saying that the case is dismissed, and citing a previously dismissed case, which is 15-9100. I forwarded that bank draft along with a cover letter to Chief Justice Roberts, who directed the clerk of the court to do that, to do the needful, and Jeffrey Atkins, the second clerk, again returned the papers saying, correcting the case number as 169624, but telling me the court dismissed the case. He was wrong. If you read the court's order, which is shown, it is clearly stated I have to pay the fee and submit the petition, which is what I did. So the name of the game is very, very complex. The purpose was designed to delay making me the payment. Okay? Now, in the meantime, I had engaged a counsel by the name Suyak de Kappel, who filed an amended complaint, a copy which is shown here. The amended complaint clearly mentioned violation of Title VII, ADA, ERISA, and other claims. Defendant promptly attempted to bribe my counsel, Sylvia Kappel, by offering him a judicial position at the Cook County, which he declined when I was in his office for consultation. Then they offered him some plum cases to handle on their behalf, which to Kappel declined. Since I couldn't afford to pay a huge retainer demanded by him, his services were discontinued by mutual agreement, and I took over pro se. Thereafter, Judge Reed once again denied the defendant's motion, citing Alexander versus Gardner, Denver. Then they started meeting each other. Judge Reed went to the home of Ann C. Conway, who was previously Judge Reed's former law clerk. And they were meeting each other's homes in Florida and also in Atlanta at undisclosed places to literally fix the case. What a shame. I reported him to the FBI. Judge Reed immediately recused and resigned from the bench in total disgrace. And the case was transferred to the defendant's choice forum to Tampa before Terrell William Hodges. Although he had no jurisdiction over me, as I was then living after a painful divorce in Yonkers, New York. Hodges issued an order directing me to come to his court for a status conference, and on the notice board he mentioned he wants additional security, as if I am a wanted criminal, when the issue before the court is violation of my Title VII ADA other claims. I was treated like a wanted criminal by this judge. I reported him. No action. Though I can go on forever, hours, how the game played on. So far, I haven't received a dime from this company. To add further insult to injury, 2 months pension, monthly pension, which I was getting in the sum of 1,531, was sent by mistake, paper check. And you can't cash the paper check in India unless you wait for 1.5 months. I reported to them. Luckily, they understood, because one of the checks was a bounced US Treasury check, the other one is a replacement. So my pension for the 2 months minus the deduction for the Social Security Part B and A has not been refunded yet. Also, I haven't received my third economic impact payment. You write to them, call them, they have no clue what is to be done. According to the website, they have 50 million customers, which would have by now gone up to more than 1 billion. These are people who worked in America as US citizens and spread over different parts of the globe, as well as persons who are not US citizens but people who contributed to their pension plan. So folks, I want you to be very careful when you cast your vote on November 5, which is only few days away. Understand? Okay? I want to wish you American people all the best. Hope we will have a new administration who will be able to understand the gimmicks played by the Democrats. No action has been taken against Mr. Dawson, who was the chairman of the party, or Tilker. Tilker fled to Hawaii. He set up a law firm there by the name, and he got license to practice before the Supreme Court by submitting false papers. Because if he is a wanted criminal in New York, how he can go to another place of the Democrats' control and manage to get a license? He should be prosecuted. Okay? Thank you, folks. Be careful before you cast your vote who deserve your vote. Michiganders were lied. The communication workers were lied. Biden says some 6 months ago, before he was forced to resign and retire, to vote for them. Do you trust them? Thank you, folks. You cast your vote in accordance with the conscience you have. Thank you.